Welcome once again, my friends from around the world, to Sunday Night Alive Power Hour. This is your host, Soldier of Self-Mastery. Excited and challenged to be here with you. Hopefully we can turn on the light today. Hopefully we can turn on the light and start bringing in some cool water on this very, very hot day. What I mean by that? We need some good stuff inside our heads. We need some good stuff inside our bodies. This is a live interactive broadcast. This is episode number 115. I'm inviting you to bring your questions and whatever is trying to leak out of your spirit. What is that thing? What is that question? What is that thought that's trying to leak out of your spirit that you're trying to get a solution for? Hopefully on this broadcast, we'll find something to go forward with. This is episode 115. I was actually expecting to do a live interview today, but unfortunately, we don't have our interviewee. I don't know what's happened, but he's not available. So we're going to go forward with this program, with the episode today. And today's topic that I've titled, Where Do We Go From Here? Where do we go from here? All right. Before we get started, I want to say my prayers go out to the families and the loved ones of these people around the world, even close to us, that are being impacted and affected by this coronavirus. It's a sad statement. It's a sad state of affairs. And we don't want to focus too much on the negativity, right? We want to focus on the positives. But the truth is that there are people dying around us, and there are people that are going to be infected, and we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared for that. So my prayers go out to the families, and we'll leave that. We'll leave that statement there. All right, my friends, I'm going to read Proverbs. I'm going to actually read 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 4. I want to tie these scriptures, the word. I want to tie that into what's happening with us today. And where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? And so this is part of the house cleaning. By the way, make sure that, let me read the proverb. Let me get into this. I got a few things. I had to change up my schedule because of some changes that we were going to do today. We were going to have somebody, like I said, we were going to do an interview, and it's not happening. So next week, I'm going to have Entrepreneur Jim. He's going to be with us again. I love his insight. I love his mindset. So we're going to bring him on, and we're going to pick his brain a little bit. That's going to be next Sunday. So join us and bring a friend. All right. So we're reading 2 Timothy today, chapter 3, verses 1 through 4. It almost feels like we're having church here, my friends. I don't even go to church. Chapter 3, verse 1, it says, "This know also." Now, I want us to pay particular attention to what's being said in this portion of scripture, because it almost feels like we're reading today's newspaper. And this is real. This is real. This is reality, my friends. We're not going to be able to escape, and we have to face the truth. "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce,
despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Lovers of pleasures. Can you relate? Let me take this thing off because I really don't need it. Can you relate to what I'm reading here, my friend? Man, every time that I go to the source, my foundation for everyday living, okay, it feels like I'm reading the newspaper, my friends. It really does. It's almost frightening. It's encouraging and frightening at the same time. And this is the truth, my friend. This is where we're at today. Hopefully you can relate to what we're reading here. So if you're new, remember to subscribe to this channel. Turn on your notifications to all so that you receive all the content. My friends, squeeze the juice out of this labor of love. If you're struggling and you're looking for solutions, if you feel that this place is a good place for you to camp out, squeeze the juice, squeeze whatever it is that you can get out of this ministry, this mission for yourself, because we need it. We definitely need it. We need to be plugged into something, some source that's going to help us make it through the darkness that we are engulfed in. And sadly, I don't believe it's going to get any better. The only thing that can get better is you and I. That's the only thing that can get better here. All right, so remember to subscribe. I'm going to be doing a book giveaway today, numbers 1 through 55. If you get the number, I'll send you a copy of. Maybe I'll send you a copy of my engineer's book. All right. So 1 through 55. I want to thank you for donating. Those of you that do donate and support this mission, I want to thank you for that. I don't care if it's $1, $2, or $20, or $200. Okay, whatever, we'll gladly receive it. I want to thank you for donating and supporting this mission. And if you're struggling, I want to give you a free consultation. If you're struggling and you want to talk to somebody on the phone, you can reach me through soldiersofselfmastery.com. All right. So with that said, my friends, I want to interact with those of you that are here. Nahil, welcome to the episode. Monica, Jim, glad to see you're with us. A big hearty thank you to Jim. And Jim's going to be with us next Sunday. He's going to be sharing. Thomas, welcome. Hello. Looks like you're, what are we talking about today, Santos? Where do we go from here, my friends? That's the topic. We were going to do an interview. We had Sean. I don't know if I hope he's doing okay. We were going to do some interviewing because I wanted to see how he's doing. And what is he doing to keep himself victorious out of the casinos? I know he's had some challenges recently. I don't want to talk about that, but I know that he's had some challenges recently, and unfortunately, he's not with us. He may be with us. Maybe he'll come on, but we'll miss him. So that's where we're at today. That's what we're going to be talking about. By the way, if you have a question, if you have an observation, challenge me. Okay, please. We're here to grow. We're here to turn on the light and maybe even sip on some of this Kool-Aid that I'm offering you guys. Hopefully you see this Kool-Aid, this refreshing drink that I'm offering you guys positively, right? We don't want to drink the Kool-Aid of negativity. We do not want to drink the negativity of darkness. That's what's hurting us. In fact, you heard me, those of you that were here in the beginning, you heard me read some scriptures from chapter 3 of 2 Timothy. And man, if that doesn't describe the world that we're living in today, it is very confusing. There's a lot of darkness. People are running around like chickens with their heads cut off. It's all around us. And my friends, it's not going to get any better. It may appear to be getting better, but it's not. The only thing that can get better is you and I, my friend. And that's why we're here. All right. So enough of that. Wilson, Rob, welcome to the program. Like I said, if you have a question, if you have an observation, if you have a struggle, challenge me. That's why I'm here. I want you to challenge me because you know what? I'm going to draw answers from inside of you, just like I need to draw answers from inside of myself. And this is, you know what? This is what makes life funner. right? When you begin to dig deep inside yourself and you look for solutions. Because when you're not living in opportunity, when you don't have problems, if you don't have any problems in your life, then you're not living on planet Earth. You're not living. And guess what? Problems have opportunities inside of them, and they're not easy to find sometimes. They're not. That's why we need to join together. That's why we need to team up, because we got more brain power. If we team up together, we've got more brain power, my friends. All right, enough preaching on there. Let me see. Monica, welcome. So we've got a few people here today. If you have a question or something that you want to share, and make sure that you, at the top of the comments, I know somebody said, hey, Santos, Rob suggested that I put my email in there for PayPal, because there are some of you that want to give, and you can give through PayPal. You can support this mission, or you can also go to soldiersofselfmastery.com and you can support the mission there. So, am I the only one that's noticing this battle that is around you and me? Am I the only one noticing the forces of evil and good at work in this world? Man, the battle is actually becoming more physical today. It's just becoming more physical. It's like the lid has been taken off the jar and things are just overflowing. Things are just overflowing, overwhelming people. And a lot of people are very confused today. They're very confused. And I'm not talking about struggling a little bit. I'm talking about seriously confused. Seriously confused. Most people can't even stop to think for themselves anymore. We got to have all this noise around us. We got to have music. We got to have TV. We got to have all this stuff going around us constantly. It's like the brain doesn't want to shut down for 15 or 20 minutes. Have you noticed that? Hopefully I'll hear. Let me see. What is your observation here? Let me see. Jim says, are the forces of evil we see just a reflection of ourselves? To find out who we are, what we stand for, and what we... Let me see. That's a good question. Are the forces of evil we see just a reflection of ourselves? To find out who we are and what we stand for and what we stand for. Well, that's a good statement. I know that we all have, right? We all have to learn to think for ourselves. My observation is that there's some truth to what you're saying, Jim. What is spilling out into the world is a reflection of what's going on inside the human mind within people. It's a dangerous world that we live in. And again, I am a firm believer that there is evil fighting against good. There are spiritual forces at work here, and they're unseen, right? We can't see them, but we can see the physical. I was reflecting this morning on the government of the United States. We have the Democrats and then we have the Republicans. There was a time when they worked together. There was a time kind of worked together. I'm hearing information today that is very troubling as we go forward, because we can see what's actually going on in this world between the Democrats and the Republicans. And it's not just in the United States. It's in our homes. It's at the job. I went last week. I went and had some work done on my car. I needed a wheel fixed. I needed a tire fixed because I got a screw in the tire. And my tires are fairly new. My car's fairly new. So I woke up early, and I believe it might have been Saturday morning last week. I went into a garage. It was the only garage that was open. The guys seemed kind of friendly. And I didn't bother listening to my spirit. I kind of was in a situation where I needed to get my wheel fixed because I had an appointment that day. I got the wheel fixed, and I noticed that as soon as they put the wheel back on my car, these are brand new rims. They damaged my rim. They left a mark on my rim. So the guy, I approached the guy, and I didn't pay that much for the service. It was just a tire. And that's not even the point of what I paid for. My point in this is that I pointed this out to the person that was working on my car. And immediately, of course, I'm by myself. I'm not a very big person. There was about 3 or 4 guys in that shop. I'm sure they probably would have taken me out and thrown me out on my head if I pursued and I pushed a little bit too much. I acknowledged the problem. I showed them. They came out with a rag and a little bit of soap in a bottle. Oh, this and the other thing, making excuses. They did not want to accept responsibility. Now, this is just a minor thing, right? It is a minor thing. They damaged a wheel that costs over $200. They damaged the wheel, and then they would not accept responsibility. In fact, they denied damaging my rim. My rim didn't have any marks on it. This is the world that we live in, my friend. This is the people that we are dealing with, and it's not going to get better. We have to become better. You and I must start developing some mental toughness, because I'm telling you, we are going to face things out there. Sometimes they may seem like little insignificant things that can turn out to be something very, very bad. People have been damaged. People have been hurt and even killed because of little situations like that. You know what? I did what I did, and I got the heck out of there. Never go back. And karma, they're going to reap what they've sown. And unfortunately, I had to drive away with damaged wheels. Now, could I push it? Could I pursue this? It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I'll live with it. It goes to show you little things like that. Imagine bigger things. Imagine bigger experiences. I'm telling you, my friends, we live in a world that has gone mad. I really believe that. And we need mental toughness, and we need a lot of wisdom. We need to be prepared before things happen. So just a little story. I was going to talk about that last week. Slow CZ. Why is it hard to fight the demon? Let me see here. He's got... what can you do? Okay. Why is it so hard to fight the demon? That's a great question. We are, I think sometimes we're gluttons for punishment. Slow ZZ. I think we are gluttons for punishment. When you have done something for so long, your body becomes accustomed to it. Your body becomes trained. I used to think that it was just the mind that we're training when we're doing something. It's not just the mind, it's also the body. Our muscles have memory, our nervous system, even our bones. I said this in one episode. Would you think that even our bones have memory in them? Santos, you're not a doctor. You're not. Our bodies have memory, my friends. So whatever we're doing, we become accustomed to it. And then again, right, we are hypnotizing ourselves, because whatever you do continuously over and over becomes a habit. It gets into our subconscious. And then we've got all these forces outside of ourselves that we're also dealing with. Yes, my friends, it's hard. You know what? Problem gambling, moving away from problem gambling, moving away from an addiction that you've been doing for a long time is hard. I used to think it's not hard. It's not easy. It's in between. It's hard, my friends. I have to be honest with myself these days. It is hard. And the longer that you wait to try and achieve a victory over that, it gets even harder. And for some people, they never make it. So you're battling yourself. You're battling thoughts. You're battling your body. Your body's become accustomed to doing that thing. That's why it's hard. That's why it's hard. Hopefully that makes sense to you, Slow. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me see what we've got going on here. Dom, welcome to the episode, Dom. Let me see. I relapsed on gambling yesterday, but I didn't beat myself up. That's a good thing. It's not a good thing that you gambled. I don't know your situation. I don't know how bad it is. Some people can control once a year, twice a year. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that are struggling weekly. You're losing money. It's affecting your family. And it's affecting you. Because eventually, if you don't get control over your thoughts, if you don't guide your mind, if you do not guide your mind is going to guide you into some serious problems. And that's what happens, man. The battle needs to be won here. And I'm admitting, my friends, I am openly admitting that it is hard. It is difficult. That's why some of you are struggling. You can't seem to get it corrected. You do good for a couple days and then you fall again. You do good for a couple days and then you fall again. My friend, you have to really, it boils down to really making that decision that needs to be like a marriage, right? You enter into a marriage. The certificate says, until death do us apart. And when you make that decision with yourself to fight against the decision, I'm telling you, I understand. There's going to be people that come to this program and sadly, you're not going to make it. There's going to be some people that are just not going to make it because you're so far deep. And hopefully whoever I'm talking to here is not on this broadcast yet. Because it's a tragic thing to fall into that state of mind where you basically give up. And I'm talking about people that end up committing suicide. I'm talking about people that end up losing it all and they end up a shell of themselves in a psychiatric ward being pumped with drugs because they can no longer withstand taking care of themselves. It's a tragic state, my friend. And that's what we need to be. We need to see that. The Bible says that a wise man looks ahead and avoids the danger. I'm paraphrasing. A wise man can see ahead. Somehow he gets a revelation and he sees something. It hits him and he knows. And he begins to back out. He begins to search wherever he can to find the medicine, to find the injection of inspiration and motivation for him to say, you know what? Screw this crap. Screw this shit. I'm tired. I'm tired of losing money. I'm tired of hurting my family. I'm tired of hurting my job. I'm tired of hurting myself. I'm tired of being sick and tired. Then we do something about it. Hopefully that helps, Dom. Hopefully that helps. Let me see. And another thing to think about, my friends, listen, my friends, the coronavirus is something very, very serious. Who knows where that coronavirus might be in people in the casino. So this is a great opportunity, even though it's a negative thing. It's a very deadly virus. We can take advantage and remind ourselves, hey, if I go into a casino, there's a possibility that I can end up with this coronavirus. That is a very strong possibility, my friends. I don't say that lightly. So take advantage of that. Use that to your advantage. Hopefully this helps. Let me see. Adelaide Valdovinos, Italian, gone to Las Vegas once to play and lost on every machine I played. That's not happy right there. That doesn't make it just, I've never been to Las Vegas. It's strange. I've never been there. And I don't think that I really want to go there, honestly. I'm grateful to be free today. And I'm just grateful that I've been able to turn on the light. And I've had a lot of help, my friends. I've had a lot of help. Number one is the foundation that I stand on, and that is the Word of God. So I invite people to pray. I invite people to, pray for wisdom, pray for guidance, pray for salvation. Doesn't hurt. And while you're at it, read scripture, meditate on scripture. Well, Santos, I don't understand the Bible. I don't understand the Bible half of the time either. But the more that I read it, the more I begin to see how it relates to this world that I live in. And my friends, we need truth. We need solid sources that we can draw from today. Sometimes we find something out there, we think, man, this looks good. We're going to draw from this. This is going to help me. And then we end up finding that that source that we were drawing from is no good. It's contaminated. There's something wrong with that source. Sometimes we don't end up finding that out till we're inside. So I can appreciate those of you that are here every Sunday. Listen, I promise, and I say this from the top of my heart, I promise to help you. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing it every day. I promise to help you if you stay close. I promise if you subscribe and you pay particular attention to the videos that I'm sharing, listen, squeeze the juice out of those videos. Squeeze the juice out of them. I don't care who tells you what. I don't care what your own mind tells you. I'm telling you that if you're willing to do this, you will get the victory. You will achieve what it is that you want to, because I'm doing it. I'm doing it, and I'm going to continue to do it. And I promise to help those of you that stay with me. Paul, welcome to the program. I see people coming in and coming off, so I can appreciate that. Let me see. Monica says, Paul, I've probably lost 400,000 over a 25-year period. Think about, of course, we can't go back and undo what we've done, but it hurts, man. You know, when we think about this thing, the money that we've lost, and I'm sure, Monica, you probably don't like to reflect on this too much, because I don't like to reflect on it either. The cars, the jobs, the money that I've lost. Is it worth an hour and a half or 8 hours of so-called fun time? Is it really worth it? When we compare, like they say, apples to apples or oranges to oranges, is it really worth it? We have to. In fact, the topic of this program today is, where do we go from here? Where do you go from here? Where can you go from here? Question number two for you. Where do we continually find the strength to continue to fight the good fight? What tools do you have available around you? What tools do you have available to you that are there, available to you, that you keep handy? Because, my friend, if you keep fighting, listen, if you keep giving in to the temptation, if you keep giving in, you're going to get weaker and weaker, and you're going to fall into the trap of possibly not being able to come out of that hole. You may fall into the trap where your mind basically locks in on you and deceives you into believing that you're washed up, you're done, you'll never escape this. Believe me, the mind has a way of trying to convince you of those kinds of things. If you continue to engage in that same behavior, like Paul said, he's even trying to quit tobacco. I'm telling you, my friends, we're coming close to the end of the program here. We're coming close. Hey, Nathan, welcome to the program. Wow, we're getting up there in numbers. The more you stay, let me see, the more that you stay. Oops, where is that one at? Let me see, show. Oh, I missed it. There it is, right there, show. The more you stay off gambling, you will recover things that you have forgotten that you also lost. Yes, you will recover. Eventually, you do recover. I believe it might have been Jim. I believe it was Jim that reminded me of the collateral damage that we do. The longer that you wait, the more that you procrastinate. And you have to ask yourself the question, why am I gambling? Right? Why am I doing this? What am I benefiting from continuing in this behavior? Let me see here. Further, does it mean that our ego don't allow us to accept defeat? That's interesting. Your mindset, your spirit, it depends on what you've been doing. Because you discipline yourself either to do the wrong things, you discipline yourself to do the right things. And it is hard, man. I admit it is hard in the beginning to fight against an addiction. It is very hard because you're fighting yourself. Really, that's the bottom line. You're actually wrestling with your nature. You're wrestling with human nature. Remember the verse that I read earlier? Lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. That's your human nature, my friend. Now, some people may not agree with this. I see it in my own nature. When I get up in the morning, I can hear the voices. I can feel things. Because I have disciplined myself for so long now, it's gotten a lot easier for me. I started this 4 or 5 years ago, though. But the temptation, the triggers, negative people, these casinos are building more and more. Like I said, this world is spiraling down further into darkness. And we can see it, my friends. It's becoming more obvious. To me, it is. And the only opportunity that you and I have is to better ourselves. Is to better ourselves so that we can be an example to others. That's the truth. That's the reality. Let me see here. People have been cleaned out in many different ways. I met people who lost everything in S war, including their family. They rebuilt their lives. Think about what you saved. Yeah, my friends, there are things going on that are very puzzling to me today. But it shouldn't be puzzling to me that much, because when I read the scripture, when I read the word, it's like the newspaper. And when people commit suicide, when people murder other people, yes, if you have a conscience, it should bother you, right? It should trouble you to some degree if you have a conscience. The Bible says that many people have their conscience seared, like with a hot iron. Have you ever seared a shirt or a pair of pants with a hot iron? You ever iron a nice pair of pants and you sear it and you leave the iron marks on it somehow because you left it there too long? They're ruined. It's ruined. You can't do anything about it. And that's how a lot of people, even family, even people in our own household, tragically, might have their conscience seared with a hot iron. That's why you read about stories. We hear about neighbors. Man, I knew this guy that killed, 15 people. The guy cut his yards. He'd go to work every day. He was very friendly. This and the other thing. What happened to that man to stand up and kill 15 people? Human nature. Something provoked him. Something got on the inside, and it took over. It took over. The human nature, the sinful nature, basically just goes wild. And I'm telling you, my friends, this is the world that we live in. I'm not trying to be a fear monger here, but you live in a battle zone. And I recognize this more and more. And you have to work on yourself. Honestly, nobody can fix you unless you're willing to fix yourself. Nobody can fix you. I can offer all the motivation. I can offer you my books. I can give you 20 books. I can give you the Gambling Addictions Breakthrough Academy. You can be here every Sunday. If you're not willing to take responsibility for your change, nothing is going to happen. If I don't take responsibility for my change, nothing is going to happen, my friends. I want to read something to you real quick from my journal. And it says this. This is number 53 of my journal. It says, always, always believe you are in control of your mind and body. You have the choice in the matter. Always believe that. Remember, I say your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. My friend, you got to have a journal somewhere. You got to start, you got to write things down. You got to have a source, like mine is the Bible, my journal, and of course, doing videos and these kinds of things. These are the habits that have replaced my bad habits. Reading, journaling. 5 or 10 years ago, I knew about none of this. I was just a lost, confused gambler, struggling. Today, I'm like amazed. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful to the Lord. I have to say that because I know that it's His grace that enables me to be here to encourage others as I encourage myself. And that is the truth, my friends. That is the truth. At least that's the truth that I see. See, what is Paul? Let me see. Paul says, all right, let me see. We're getting ready to wind down here. And here's another little thing that has been brought to my attention by Sean himself. And I talk a little bit about this. Exercising and working on eating a little better for yourself. Exercising and eating better for yourself also is a contributor to your victory. I heard somebody the other day talking about how people can go into a casino for 8 hours, 12 hours. And I know I've been there. You don't even eat. You don't drink water. You're around all this negative stuff. And then if you do eat, most of the time you're eating stuff in a hurry. You know, you just want to get something in you to just get rid of the noise in your stomach, the rumbling in your stomach, and then you go right back. In fact, people put on diapers to sit in front of a machine for 8 or 9 hours. They shit and piss on themselves just so that they can stay in front of the machine, just in case it's hot. My machine's hot. It's going to hit. That's a bunch of bullshit, my friend. Yeah, it's hot. The machine's hot. It's going to burn you is what it's going to do. It's going to burn you. Well, it looks like we've got more people coming on, so I'm going to stay here for a little bit longer. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys here. And let me see. Let me put this one on there. Yeah, it's horrible, Rob. That's the truth. It's horrible. A lot of things that, you know, I'm beginning to realize more and more, my friends. That's probably the reason why I'm kind of hitting a little bit harder. I'm beginning to realize that this so-called gaming is actually a suicide trap. And I'm not just talking about physical suicide. It is a suicide to all that you have. Your money, your finances will die. Your relationship, if you're married and your partner does not do this, your relationship is going to die. Your relationship with your children, it's a slow suicide. It's a slow suicide. In fact, somebody said, I don't completely understand this one yet. Somebody said that gambling is one of the worst addictions that you can have. They're all bad. All addictions are bad. But what makes gambling so much worse? Is it because you don't show physical signs of the addiction? Is it because you think that you're not hurting anybody but yourself because you're the one that's in front of the machine? Either it's a sports bet or card playing or roulette, crap table, or the slot machine, right? That's not the handle anymore. It's actually push button and push button. In fact, I believe this is a prophecy. I believe that eventually you'll sit in front of, if we're here, if the world lasts this long, you will sit in front of a machine through eyes. You will operate that machine through your eyes and through sensors, movements. You will control the machine. You will not even have to touch the machine. And think about that, where we're headed. Man, these engineers that create the software that moves these machines, they are very, very creative, and they have to be because that's how they're making their money. They don't care about you. They don't care what you got. You can go to an ATM and overdraft your machine. When you walk out of the casino is not going to give you anything, and they're not going to say, hey, you know what? We're sorry that you had to go into your ATM. Maybe next time you'll win, right? They don't even say that to you. Well, of course, they're not going to say that to you because they don't care. They really honestly don't care. As long as they have everything out of your bank account and they've cleaned you out like somebody shared, you're done. You're done, my friend. You are done. And somebody here, listen to the sound of my voice today, my friend. Listen, I'm willing to give you some of my time. Listen, if you need somebody to consult with, somebody that knows what they're talking about, I may not know a whole lot about other things, but when it comes to problem gambling and rituals and disciplines, that I can tell you I do know quite a bit about because it's working in my life. Whatever I'm doing is working. And I'm excited to be free, but man, the damage, it does drag. It does drag along with you. Suzanne, welcome. Australia is in the house. Actually, Australia's been in the house because Nathan's from Australia. So listen what Adelaide says here. I witnessed a guy kill himself in Nevada, kill himself over gambling. Yeah, people are jumping off of buildings. There's all kinds of stuff that we don't read about. So, something that I want to read here. I have to conclude it's harder than we realize unless we begin to fix it upstairs. You know what I mean by upstairs, right? You got to turn on the light, my friends. You have to turn on the light and you have to mean it. Why would you want to keep that light on? Why? What's going to keep you? What's going to compel you to keep that light on when it's so hard to fight? Listen, if you're here on this episode and you're listening to the sound of my voice, if you watch some of my videos, consider yourself very fortunate because you're on a path of victory if you keep at it. If you keep at it, don't let your mind might be lying to you, telling you that you're washed up, that you're not going to be, you've caused too much damage, this and that. If you are here listening to the sound of my voice, consider yourself fortunate. It's not because of me. It's because you're here and you've made an effort to do something about your situation. So I congratulate you on that. Listen to what I just shared with you, my friend. You're stronger than you realize. You are. The brain has a way of manipulating all of that, but I'm here to remind you that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay? Yes, you have a side, a human nature of you that is very, very sinful, but you can overcome. You can win little by little. Okay? Little by little, day by day. Remember I said 7-day spans? We've already ended another 7-day era. How did you do during this 7-day era? How did you do? Are you satisfied with it? Are you happy? Did you get to where you want to be? Or now we're entering another 7-day era. You can start fresh from this point on, my friend. You can start fresh. All anew, man. That is good news. And I'm very grateful for that. All right. Thank you. Laura says that, by the way, any numbers you guys want to throw out? I think my book's kind of worth it. It'll help you. It'll challenge you a little bit. You know, sometimes you may need to read again. Use the book. Don't just read it. Use it. Okay? This is a tool. This is like a hammer, right? This is like a sword. This is like a chain. This is like a vehicle. There's some light in here for you, my friend. There's some light in here. All right. I'm going to read something else from my journal, but before I do, I want to get some more. Let me see. Jesse, let me see what Jesse has to say here. The casinos are losing. We have the edge because we are not there today. Exactly. That's right. Months are going by since I stepped into a casino. Man, how's that feel, Jesse? How's that feel? It's if that's a that's a couple of trophies for you, right? But on the heels of that, if you've only been out of the casino for a couple of weeks, you still have your mind, right, trying to play games with you. It tries to trip you up. Or you have a friend that calls you, right? A good friend. If you're trying to get away from gambling and you have a good friend that calls you up, I don't consider that a good friend. He has no respect for you in actuality. A friend will respect you for what you stand for. That's a friend. So beware the phone calls. Beware the banners, those signs, right? Beware the temptations and the triggers. Let me see. We've got a couple numbers here. Thank you, Laura. I truly appreciate you for sharing that. I know my books. It's not this people. A school teacher read my book and he said some things. He said some positive things and then he said a few negative things. It is what it is. It took me a while to get this to where it's at, even though it still has a few editing errors in it. I'm going to leave it the way it is. It's a tool. It's a tool. And if you learn how to use this tool for yourself, I guarantee you, you're going to get victory in your life. You will get victory if you use the tool. Let me see some numbers. Monica says 34. Come on, guys, a few more numbers. I know you don't like to read that much. That's why I said use the book. You don't have to read it. Just use it. Thank you, Jesse, for that. I appreciate all of you guys. Wow, we've had quite a few people on this broadcast. I haven't had that many, so my message is getting out there. I'm grateful for that. I think somebody got it. Let me see. No, let me see. No, I'm not going to say who's close, but somebody's real close. I thought you did get it. Amen. Oh, amen. Keep it up, Santos. I wish you a happy new week. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know we're all struggling with something, right? We may have victory in one area, but we have struggles in others. And it's okay. It's okay to admit I'm struggling. But that doesn't mean that I'm giving up, right? If you say that you're struggling, you're looking for opportunities. And that's what we need to be doing. Nimsy, Lot, you deserve more subscribers. I agree with you. Can you help me get some more subscribers? Can you help me reach more youth? Those of you that are out there, I ask you to share my videos. I know that Suzanne has mentioned to me that there's a small group of people in Australia that do check out my videos. I mean, there's people around the world that do look at my videos. This is a difficult situation that we're all in. So we need to stick together. Like I said, we need to find the sources that are going to actually help us. I will have another, looks like another young man I met recently. I believe that he either might still be gambling or he's stopped the gambling. I met him through YouTube. He's interested on coming on board, and we're going to do some interviewing with him. He's a fresh new person that I've met on YouTube, and I'm looking forward to hearing his stories. He's kind of an exciting guy from what I see in the videos. So I will be reaching out to him. In fact, I did, and he's open to an interview. Not this Sunday coming up, but the next one. Jim will be with us on Sunday, I believe. So, Canada. Paul's from Canada. Okay. From the UK. Dom, 24, 25, and 26. Let me see. Wait a minute. No numbers yet. Canada. All right, Paul. Aquí vato. Canal. All right, you guys are getting close, man. but nobody's got it yet. Everybody's dancing around the number. All right, let me see banners. You guys are all close, but all right, my friends. Well, we're coming down to the wire, and come on, keep the numbers coming, man. You guys, somebody's going to get the book today. Somebody's going to get the book. Of course, you have to send me an address. So you're going to have to go to soldiersofselfmastery.com, unless you want to put your address on here, which we've got a few minutes left. I cannot underestimate we are our worst enemy, but one thing I do is remembering many times I have left and felt, and it helps me to stay sorry. Helps me to say sorry. I am not going to that sad place again. Jesse, let me share something with you real quick. The human side, the sinful side that we own is the enemy. I used to say this, that you are your own worst enemy. I don't really like to say that. And it's okay for other people to say it. I don't like to say that to myself because I don't want to be an enemy to myself. But there is a part of me that I have to defeat every day. That is the enemy, the sinful nature. So I'm working on being more careful what I say to myself, because people that hate themselves, they consider themselves their worst enemy. And a lot of people psychologically are hurting up here because of statements like that. So the other day I was really thinking about that, and I choose to just say, my battle is against my sinful nature. It is against that part of me that wants to dominate and lead me into darkness. That's the enemy. I'm not my own enemy. So hopefully that clarifies a little bit. Again, you guys don't have to agree with me, because I don't expect that, right? I told my wife the other day that I'm not here to win a popularity contest, because I lost that one a long time ago. I'm here to speak the truth and what's been working in my life and what could possibly help others. Let me see, 22, 21, 11, 69. My friend, you're way over 69. It's only 1 through 55. So, yes, Jesse, correct. The flesh. That's a very, very dark side of us. And again, we don't have to look far to see what the dark side of us can do. I was watching a news conference earlier today about a Operation Naughty. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Operation Naughty, not nice. Operation Naughty, not nice. I was watching these police officers, and they had a big sting, and they caught a bunch of people, human trafficking, Johns, pedophiles, and it's horrible, man. It's horrible what's happening. And I was just thinking, these people that were caught, they were engineers, they were people working in high places, in businesses, married, being exposed on national television. Man, what a shame. I could imagine what their families are going through. Here's a man and being exposed. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. We have to fight. We have to fight against these things. Anyways, you guys are throwing up some good numbers. Nobody's got it, though. All right, my friends, we're coming down to the end of the wire. My call to action today is this. Ask myself, where do I want to go from here? Of course, that was the topic. Take time out to reflect. Take time to reflect. This is something that a lot of people don't do anymore because it's getting tougher. The more that you reflect on you, the more you reflect on these situations that you're going through, the better off you're going to be. If you ignore these situations and you just throw them underneath the carpet, guess what? That carpet is going to rise and somebody's going to trip over that bump from the stuff that you're shoving underneath the carpet. So does it make sense to take time to reflect and think about where we are and where we need to go? Does that make sense to you? Now is the time to be doing it. So I will see you guys next Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here. And if there's something that I could do to help you out, remember, just go to soldiersofselfmastery.com. I believe the website is there, soldiersofselfmastery.com. We are accepting donations, love gifts, as I continue to go forward. So if you work and you appreciate this mission that I'm on, we are on together. Team up with me. Team up. $1, $5, whatever you can give, my friend. And the information will be right here, as I said, right at the top of the chat. So I know somebody said, hey, Santos, you should put your PayPal email. So it's there. It's at the top, at the very top. So let me see. 144,000 of us make it into the kingdom. That, by the way, that number 144,000 in the book of Revelations, Paul, that is a spiritual number. The number 144,000 actually means complete fullness of those that are written in the Lamb's book of life. It's not a literal number. It's not a literal number. That is a figurative number. 144,000, because that's not a lot of people. That's not a lot. It is a spiritual number, meaning the full capacity of all of those that will be in eternity with God. That's what I understand that number to be, versus just 144,000. Like the Jehovah's, I think the Jehovah's Witnesses preach that there's only going to be 144,000 people in heaven or in the eternal life. I disagree with that. And you can disagree with me if you want. It's there. You heard from that took you on a wild ride in the car. That was a wild story. Santos, have you heard from that guy that took you on a wild ride in the car? Not sure. Did I mention something about? Oh, maybe. It could have been. Well, I'm not going to mention his name. It was one of the leadership with one of the companies that I've been with about 6 or 7 months ago. Maybe that's. Yeah, he's still around. He's still doing pretty much what he's been doing. I don't jump in the car with him anymore because he almost killed us. Literally almost killed us. Paul says I read a lot. That's good. You can gain a lot of maturity. You can become mature on your own through years of living, or you can actually grow. You can mature by reading other people's stories and by associating with other people that are much older than you, that may be ahead of you in a certain aspect in life. So we can gain maturity that way. We can learn from others. Like they say, cut your learning curve in half by reading books, by using books, I'm telling you, man, we have so much exposure on the internet to information. It's crazy, man. It's incredible what we have available to us. And believe me, there are powers in operation to try and shut a lot of this stuff down. It's called censorship. It's called media. It's called propaganda. It's out there. And they are working on shutting people down because the evil powers that are outside of us, they want to continue to flourish, and they will until that day comes. Until that day comes. Suzanne says, thank you. Thank you. Amazing words as always. Thank you, Suzanne. I appreciate you for sharing that. I really do. Thank you. Stay strong. Stay strong. Up and at 'em. I know in Australia they say down under. I say up and at 'em in Australia. All right, my friends. Suzanne says, reading the Bible is good. I need to read more. Me too. In fact, I'm listening to more of it these days in audio. I really feel compelled to listen more and read more of the Bible these days. There's something behind that. I feel it in my spirit. All right, my friends. Jim, we're looking forward to your presence next Sunday on here live. Thank you. I see Sean. It looks like Sean is trying to come on. He's a little bit late. Let me see if I can bring him on. Sean, you're a little bit early, my friend. Yeah, he's frozen. All right, my friends, we're getting ready to come to an end here. Again, if there's anything that I can do for you, anything, well, I got to be careful there. Soldier.com. You can visit me there. And hello, Sean. Yeah, we're getting ready to end the broadcast, man.
It's an hour behind now.
Yeah, what's that?
I say it's an hour behind for you guys.
Yeah, I was waiting for you at 4 p.m. and we'll definitely have to.
Okay, that's all. Yep. Usually 4 o'clock, there'll be 8 o'clock. Your 4 o'clock, there'll be my 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But it's now my 8 o'clock now.
I know, I can see it's dark. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm driving, and I'm 94 days free of gambling, and I'm keeping strong. I'm spending more time with my son. I'm getting in touch with my family more and more each day. Also doing my journal as usual. And yeah, I'm thinking positive as always. Also did a video journal. I don't know if I'll send you the link. I hope you watch it and you give me a feedback. So far I'm doing good in terms of being free from gambling. And of course, my health has improved more and more. And I'm very thankful for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm on the road. So your 4 o'clock will be my 7 o'clock now.
Yeah, because it's already 5. It's
Yeah,
5, yeah.
difference, man. I'm sorry about that. I didn't really check to see the time difference.
Well, things
Okay,
happen.
well,
Things happen. Yep.
I guess we should do this another time, man. I'm
We
sorry about that.
we will. We will. Next Sunday I'm going to have Jim on, and I may have another. I'm going to be doing another interview after that. So maybe, let me see, probably towards the end of this month, we'll reach out. I'm going to send you an email so that you can be a little bit more prepared, and
Okay.
and we can go from there. So I truly appreciate you coming on board. I'm glad. I am. I'm just. It makes me feel real good to hear that you're doing well, because I know this is not an
Yeah,
easy
man.
thing. It's not. It's not an easy thing. You know. So
Yeah, I'm sorry about the time difference.
yeah. What's that?
Yeah, I'm sorry about the time difference. We didn't get that done, pa.
Hopefully there'll be another opportunity, Sean. All right.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
appreciate that, man.
You're welcome. Hey, you guys all stay safe out there. We're getting ready to end the program. Stay safe. Be careful, where you go. Again, the coronavirus is a very, very serious issue, and you can use that to stay out of the casinos. I mean, I would, because you never know what it is that you're going to get out there, being around people, especially a lot of older people. A lot of older people do hang out in the casinos. So beware, my friends. Be careful, stay strong, and I'll see you on the next episode at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here, Sunday Night Alive Power Hour with your host, Soldier of Self-Mastery.